is Israel has the right to defend itself. Now let's talk about Israel's right to defend itself. And Israel defends itself very well. The Palestinians have no army. The Palestinians have no navy. The Palestinians have no air force. Yet the media shape it as a war. How? Think about the propaganda. Think about it. Because it is very clever. If Palestine has no navy, no army, no air force, what war are you talking about? Now, Israel receives $3.5 billion every year from the US in military spending. They have F-16 fighter jets, Apache helicopter gunships, an untold array of weapons supplied by America.
Better than America.
Now, how can the Americans supply one side with weapons, one side with $3.5 billion, and then corruptly claim to be the independent arbitrator of peace in the region? How is it the United Snakes of America have vetoed almost 65 resolutions against Israel? So my friends, we are not talking about balance. In fact, the reality is the Palestinian people have the right to defend themselves. But the narrative is such that they make the victim the perpetrator and make the perpetrator the victim. Israel has gone one step too far. Israel continually bombards and brutalizes and murders the people of Palestine every 3 or 4 years. Why do they do this? They do this to keep the Palestinian people in a perpetual state of limbo and underdevelopment. Now they've bombed again. What have they bombed? Today they bombed an hospital, another school. Another school. That's the 3rd school they bombed. The 2nd UN school. If they are doing this to the United Nations, imagine what they are doing off the radar. Imagine what they're doing out of sight. Yet the United Nations cannot control Israel. Why? Because no matter what the United Nations does, Israel has powerful allies and friends in America, in Britain, and in France. They have the power of veto to stop any action. So I'm saying to you, sir, I've got no problem with your opinion and I'm going to give you the right to reply. However, when you corruptly frame the argument from the onset, just like how every major news broadcaster does, the BBC are corrupt. What right do they have? What right do they have to offer you Uganda? What's the big question? He says, hold on sir, we have a revelation. He says, I am missing the big question. So there's a big question coming. Brace yourselves for it. Buckle your seatbelts. If you have a spliff, light it now. If the Jews were murdered in all those different countries, as they were, why were they murdered?
What crime did they commit?
It doesn't even matter to me. But what was so big a question, sir? I'm sorry. It doesn't matter to me why you were murdered in Europe. Because it wasn't only Jews who were murdered in Europe. Gypsies, Romanis, black people, disabled people, others were murdered. Sir, Hitler, let me ask you this. Was Hitler a wicked man?
Yes.
Yes. Was Hitler wicked?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because he killed a lot of people without any justification.
Because he killed a lot of people without justification.
Especially
Was Hitler wicked?
School, actually.
Yeah.
Was Hitler a wicked man?
Especially at my father's
Why? Sorry? Because he was sinning. Now listen to this. Hitler was a wicked man, they all claim. Yeah. You can't even say Hitler was a good artist. You can't even name your child Adolf Hitler in Germany. It's against the law. They've now criminalized this man. They say Hitler was a wicked man because he killed 6 million Jews.
And
Hold on, sir. I don't thank you. I don't need no punctuation from you. I don't need no punctuation from you. They claim that Hitler was a wicked man because he killed 6 million Jews. That is one of the world's biggest lies. Hitler is not one of the world's most evil men because he killed 6 million Jews. Hitler goes down in history as one of the world's most evil men because he killed 6 million white people. If Hitler killed black people, he'd be all right. He'd be in the old boys club. He'd be Sir Adolf. But Hitler killed white people. Hitler, no, sir. Sir, let me get to it. No, sir, let me get to it. Sir, if it was wrong for Hitler to invade France, it was wrong for the British to invade India. If it was wrong for Hitler to invade Poland, it was wrong for the British to invade the Middle East. If it was wrong for the Germans to invade Russia, it was wrong for the British to invade Africa. But you don't look at it like that. You killed millions upon millions upon millions of Africans, my brother. You don't acknowledge it. But when Hitler kills white people, he's the world's most evil man. In fact, Hitler's eugenics program was developed by the British. The word concentration camp wasn't devised by the Nazis, it was devised by Lord Baden-Powell.
Correct, yeah, that's correct.
By Lord Baden-Powell, an Englishman, in South Africa, where the idea was the founder of the Boy Scouts. You know! So the whole concept of concentration camp.
I'll be absolutely honest.
Hold on, sir.
The concentration
The idea.
were for Afrikaners.